is going to share a story with you today.
Are you ready?
Yeah!
Okay. We would like to introduce you
To
Paige
Turner!
Yay!
Yay!
Hi, everybody. Hi. Thank you, Pig and Sheep. That was a lovely introduction. My name is Paige Turner, like my friends over here, Pig and Sheep said. And I wanted to share a story with you today. Because did you know sometimes you can just tell stories without a book? I know. It's amazing. You can make them up. You can remember stories that someone told you and share it with somebody else, like Three Little Pigs or Goldilocks, like me, and the Three Bears, or Goldilocks and a Pig and a Sheep. But today's story is about a girl who loved the library. Yeah. Do you know what? She loved the library. But she had to stay home. She couldn't go to the library. It was closed. And she was sad because all she had was a piece of paper. I know. It's tragic. A little girl and just a piece of paper. But wait, it gets better. She also had her imagination. That was her imagination. Yeah, she had imagination. That means she thought up things in her head. They weren't real always, sometimes. But the little girl who loved to go to the library, loved stories, had just a piece of paper. So she is going to take that paper and her imagination, got it? And tell a marvelous story. So are you ready? Are you guys ready? Hello. Well, I think I'm going to wake up my friends so they can watch the story. And why don't you get ready too? And let's listen to a story about a girl and her imagination. Are you ready?
Paige was sad that she couldn't go to the library, but she remembered all the great books that she had read and the great story times that she had heard when she was there, and decided that she would take those wonderful memories and create a fabulous story of her own. So Paige sat down with her piece of paper and her imagination and folded it in half and thought about books that she had read at the library about rain and puddles. She folded her paper in half again and thought, if I go outside in the rain, I will need a rain hat. So she folded it down to make a triangle shape. Once I have my hat made, I can go play in the puddle, Paige thought. So she worked very hard to make sure her hat was perfect. With the last fold, she put it on her head and was ready to explore. But once the hat was ready and she was ready to explore, she thought, oh, but I read a book about a firefighter too. I need a different hat for that. So she folded her paper one more time into a diamond shape, picking up one side. I remember the firefighters. Their hats were like flat in the front and pointy in the back. Look at that, my perfect fire hat, Paige thought. Now I can go read books about firefighters and saving kittens. Yay! Oh, and putting out fires. But then Paige, oh, but I know somebody else that wears a hat too. I read books about pirates sailing the seven seas. Yo ho ho, I want to be a pirate. So she folded the hat one more time and had the perfect pirate hat. But I can't sail the seven seas in a hat, thought Paige. What do I need? What do I sail in? She kept folding the paper back and forth, trying to figure out, what do I need to sail? That, I know, is a boat. So she took her hat and folded it, twisting it. It took a lot of work. It was not easy turning a pirate hat into a boat. But with a lot of determination, Paige finally made her boat and was ready to sail the seven seas. Harash! Oh no, the treacherous waters has ripped off the stern of the boat, but she will sail on 'cause she is still afloat. Here we go, sailing, sailing over the ocean. Crash! Oh no, and now the bow of the boat is ripped off in this storm. But Paige was a brave captain and she kept sailing on, sailing, sailing, over we go, up and down, crash. And now there is a hole in the bottom of the boat. Well, Paige knows, like any good captain does, that a boat will not stay afloat with a hole in it. So Paige decides, now is the time for my imagination to go back to being what I am most happy being, and that's a little girl. So she took her boat with a hole in it and folded it down and kept folding it down until she had her very own shirt back, and she could turn back into the little girl, Paige Turner, who loved books, loves the library, and loves to tell her own stories. The end.
They're asleep again, but they enjoyed the story. I hope you did too. I thought it was awesome how she used her imagination and made up so many stories about great books she read about rain, firefighters, pirates, yo ho ho, and sailing the seven seas. I thought it was awesome. I hope you did too. Now, maybe you can use your imagination and tell a story of your own, with a paper or without. Just use your imagination. Okay, time for bed. Shh, they're already sleeping. Okay, see you next time.